And yeah, starting off with a dance. We're here at the Workbench here at Southern Lighting Solutions. Today we're going to be kind of diving into the guts of a light fixture that we've pulled apart that was purchased, I believe, online or at a local retailer.
At a local retailer. I mean, this is the same model. We've probably changed 30 of these, 40 of these so far from just a whole different random slew of people. This is just one amongst many that we just change and change and change and change and change.
So this is a 4-foot wraparound, as you can see here.
Yep.
And we're going to be talking about the chips inside of it, the driver, and all sorts of fun stuff. So
yeah, I mean, we're just getting a bit into the guts here, showing what's going on here at the Workbench. I mean, I got kind of excited and, as you can see, pre-cut everything. Well, I mean, obviously I had to disconnect the power here and remove some rivets, but this is what I want you guys to see with when we talk about the guts and bones and, you know, things that go into these lights. You've got the LED boards on both sides, you've got the earthing, and you've got the driver. And you've got the housing. Now the cover, obviously it's not with us right now, but what I wanted you guys to see is just how simple, how basic the LEDs are on the inside. Now if you can zoom in, you'll notice there are burn marks here. And the burn marks are over here basically because when it was wired in, all the wires were sitting right on top of here, which, you know, obviously affects the lifetime of the light, the board. Same time we have the driver. I removed the rivets already so we can just take it out. And this is what I want you guys to see. And this is why I'm completely baffled by some of the stuff that comes inside here. This is your LED driver that they have existing right now. Now, I know we've showcased this before, but it's tin. You know, there's nothing here. This is not protection. You know, the way, at least the way we look at it. Yeah, it could work in some cases, but, you know, we're against using these kinds of housings over here. We'd actually much prefer to use fully isolated housings, even if it's a thermoplastic housing or a metal housing, but not just, you know, regular tin over cardboard. I mean, come on.
that looks like the locomotive from Back to the Future 3.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what it is. I mean, is it a good driver? Sure, to a certain extent, yeah, it's fine, you know, it's up to code, etc. But I mean, would I expect any high-end brand to use this? Not a chance. It won't happen. You know, you'll never see high-end American brands. You'll never see Italians. You'll never see the Germans use any driver like this. So, and what we're switching to is we're putting in our good old-fashioned TCI driver. As you can see, it's completely isolated. This is what we're using. So we're going from this to this. And to showcase that and just show you how it's going to work, we're not actually changing the LED board today, but usually, you know, and this is a good LED board from what we can tell. You know, it's I don't know if you can zoom in over here, you'll see it is CRU, so it is American compliant, you know, to a very good standard. So the manufacturer that made this LED board, no complaints. Where I do have additional issues, you can see the soldering. This is not machine solder. This is all hand soldered. We would prefer machine soldering, you know, it's just, I guess, cutting of corners, if you will, additional corners in the process. When we use the Italian items, you see they already have the connectors in place, which these are just push connectors to get everything in. And obviously we're not changing out the boards today, we're just changing out the driver because that's the ideal solution. So I'm just gonna run through it quickly. We're gonna get this stripped down over here. So we're just going to go ahead and...
Don't do this at home.
Don't do it at home, no. We're gonna, oh, that was not good.
Oh, yeah.
There's one. There's 2, right there. We're just gonna ghetto this quickly. We're gonna get our LED driver in here. So here, obviously, you know, they've told us positive and negative, so just show you how quickly it is and easy it is. Positive goes to positive, negative goes to negative, and that's your driver in place. Now, when we finally do set this, obviously we're gonna align it properly. We're gonna have to put in U-holes in the actual metal, rivet them in so it's properly secure. We're gonna go ahead and we're going to take our strip here, the main connector, male, female. Now, if you see, we use these Wago connectors. These are just fantastic because they can handle 600 volts, they can handle a lot of amperage inside it, and it's just a safer way if we want to connect in the main power into it. Usually, sometimes you'll see a lot of places, you know, we use your normal caps over here, the standard wire connector caps. They're available in the electricity. If they don't have them, we like to use these connectors. But just for the sake of showing it and turning it on right now, we're gonna go ahead and do that. We do have the ground, which we will not connect in because the actual ground itself is connected to the board. So let's go ahead, connect these in, very simple. Click and connect. Now, very important before we proceed from here, because I wonder if I should turn this around for you. If you look over here, remember this is our famous dip switch where we have the various wattages, the various outputs. Now for us, we want to know what is the tolerance of these boards itself. And for our case, we're just going to go ahead and looking at this, we know we're allowed 1.15 amps, which is over here 1,150 milliamps. Now we're not going to go that high. There's no need to overclock it, as they would say. So with the dip switch, we're going to go ahead, and what I want to do is I want to stick in the 600 milliamp range, 30 watts, more than enough. So number 3 is on. I don't know if you can see over here, just click it into the on position, and number 1 is in the on position. Now with the dip switch over here, we basically have it so this driver is outputting 30 watts of power to these LED boards. Let's see what happens when we go ahead and plug it in. Now knowing my luck, I'm gonna burn it. Let's see. There we go. It is as simple as that. It's crisp, it's pure, it's clean. Now if I wanted to show you guys, let's up the wattage just a bit. Let's up the amperage just a bit and see what happens. So, just go back to the 0 position, we reset it. And let's hop it up to 36 watts, 750 over here. So that would be position 5 on. Switch it on, and it's even brighter. So basically all that we're doing here right now with the board and with the driver, when we play with the outputs of the dip switch, all we're doing is increasing the amount of light that comes out of these LED boards. Now if I went over the 1,150 milliamperes, I would fry these boards. So we're not going to do that. We don't want to do that. Maybe if we get a model that we don't need, we'll actually go ahead and show you how we burn LEDs. But for today's purpose, to wrap it up, what's going to happen is we're going to get this put back into place. We're going to get it sealed. We're going to get the main wires connected in properly. It's going to go back into the ceiling, and just like that, we're done. I'm going to go back and switch this back to what I want it to be, down at 30 watts, and we'll call it a day.
Benefits of that driver, when you're talking about just straight benefit over the driver that we had, just more consistency?
This driver is infinitely better. Yeah, it's more consistent. It's properly isolated. this driver, if you take it in combination with the actual Italian LED board as well from TCI, if you combine the two together, we can get at minimum 7-year warranty, even up to 10 based on the application that we're using in it. And this is backed by the actual component manufacturer themselves. So it gives us a lot more confidence when we're offering our warranties. Driver like this, I would not expect this to work for more than 10,000 hours, if that. And that as well would be limited function. A driver like this, you can throw it almost 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 5 years nonstop, and go from there. But I mean, still, even this driver with any other PC boards is still going to give you a very consistent, solid, good output. It's not necessarily that the components on inside it are maybe any better than the ones we have on this board, but it's the actual application, how they're built together, how they're put together.
Alrighty, sir. Well, thank you. We appreciate the walkthrough, and that is what is inside an LED light and how having better components doesn't necessarily have to break the bank, but it'll make it.
I mean, you know, this is a quick, easy fix for us. This driver we charge about $35 for it to do it, all in.
And again, as he was saying, if you pair it with other boards, you get a better warranty.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, sir. Thank you all for joining us for the Workbench. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Take care.